Kirby's Adventure. Kirby's back in power-puffing action. What would Dreamland be without dreams? A nightmare. The dream spring, source of all dreams, has dried up, taking with it all the blissful dreams of Dreamland. It's up to Kirby, the bombastic blimp, to return happy naps to the inhabitants of Dreamland. Kirby's appetite for adventure is as big as ever as he eats his way through a feast of all new enemies. In this adventure, he can also steal the abilities of the bad guys he scarfs down. With this new power, Kirby can perform 20 new tricks that will help him make his way through the nightmare-infested Dreamland. Kirby's Adventure features brand new worlds to explore with the same fun, action-packed feel that made Kirby's Dreamland for Game Boy a hit. First you draw a circle, then you dot the i's, add a great big smile, and presto, it's Kirby! Alright, so all the Kirby's Adventure for the NES. This is a game I've played a lot of, mainly through the 3D Classics version, and we get a little demo here. Here's the famous Kirby or Drew. So new to this game, we have dashing, so we can move faster. And we still got jump and hover. We got slides now. So yeah, as you can see, this was the game that was released second, so technically we're doing this slightly out of order by doing a Dreamland 2 video first, but you know what? I don't really care. I just want to play Kirby in the way I want to play Kirby. And if that means going out of order on release order, then so be it. So yeah, we also have copy abilities, so we get a few here. A little preview, not all of them, of course. But we have Fire, back there, next up. Spark. Ice, freeze an enemy and toss them. Sword. Kirby is brave when he has a sword. Yeah, that's we're attacking with the power of bravery. Parasol, also known as, I love Parasol so much. Parasol's just fun. I don't know. Fireball, also known as burning in later games. And when a big enemy is defeated, eat him, and we get some special copy abilities like Backdrop, also known as very, very aggressive ability. Yeah, like that. Kirby has lots of moves. Try them. And I will be trying to see if as many as I can. That's it. See you in the game world. And we actually get a story. One day, the peaceful life of Dreamland was shattered by a mysterious crisis. The inhabitants didn't dream. On the edge of Dreamland, dreams and hope once gushed forth from the dream spring, fueled by the Star Rod. Investigating the dream spring, Kirby found naughty King Dedede swimming in its magical waters. Dedede had broken the Star Rod and given the pieces to his friends, who are now hiding in Dreamland. To bring back the lost dreams, Kirby sought the Star Rod. And so, we have our quest. So, what do you say we get started? And we get save files. I'm feeling Kirby 3. And we get right into it with Vegetable Valley, level 1. Kirby gets the sword knocked out of his hand, so he just decides to eat the dude and get a sword of his own. As you do. So we get a little hub area for each level, so let's just jump right into stage 1 here. Oh yeah, so anyway, I was going on a tangent on the title screen, then I got interrupted by the demo starting. So the way I was first introduced to this game is through the 3D Classics version of it, which was kind of like a from the ground up port, specifically made, like, not virtual console, like it was like actually like genuinely enhanced a bunch of ways. Like a lot of the sprite layering was, you could enable the 3DS's 3D for some like cool stereoscopic effects. It's actually a pretty nifty port, and too bad the eShop's closing down, so we can't actually see it. So we actually have a secret here in the first level, and that's that, see how this little waterfall. Okay, you know what? We'll just stand on top of the blocks and show things this time. But yeah, So see how one of these little, like, underneath the block waterfalls is a bit different? Well, if we very carefully navigate our way under there, we get a very unique copy ability, UFO. So this, like, fully transforms Kirby and has different moves depending on what level of charge you do. You move around very fast, on the air or on land. So you have just a basic beam. We have a laser, we have a star bullet, and we have a big star bullet. That's the 4 levels of charge in order. But yeah, the 3D Classics version actually is, like, genuinely very much improved in a lot of ways, which makes it a big shame that the 3DS and Wii U shops are getting closed down next year, as of the time of recording this. But yeah, as you can see, Kirby slams down a flag, and you don't actually get to keep UFO between levels. That's a feature unique to UFO, so you can't just break the entire game with it. We have a sub-game. Use the buttons to move the crane and try to get a Kirby. A big one's hard to get, but worth it. So it's a basic claw machine. Essentially, you want to hold the A button to move the claw machine to the left, and then right, and then release when it's above the Kirby, the doll you want. So let's see if we can get the big Kirby here. And I think we nailed it. Yep. Snug in the claw. Can we go 2 for 2 on this? Okay, if you see that animation, it means it's a little loose in the claw, and it might, yeah, fall out. So we only got 1 big Kirby. The big Kirby's are worth 2 extra lives, and the small Kirby's are worth 1. Your lives do not get saved in between sessions, so your lives will always get reset to 5, which is... Gotta love it when games do that. That's really common for some reason, but anyway. So yeah, beam, nah. Let's try out something else. Here's Cutter. Kirby just yeets out boomerangs at people. It's pretty great. And all those broom hatters managed to just barely avoid the wrath of Kirby on a... Hey, okay. Give me that back. Give me that back. So we got a Poppy Bros Senior here. We saw this guy in Dreamland. And back in Spring Breeze. No, not Spring Breeze. Green Greens. Okay, brain, please. And you may be thinking, oh, cool, bomb. No, crash. Yeah, there's no bomb in this game, so, instead we get a little bit of, the NES Classic, doing its best to reduce flashing effects. As, yeah. Screen nuke ability, one-time use, it's great. Oh yeah, this is the game that introduced the, big star bolts by inhaling multiple enemies, though we did kind of see that with it being one of UFO's projectiles. I would like... Oh, there's Sword up there. Sword's pretty rad. Because it's one of the few copy abilities with multiple moves. You got your ground attack and your air attack. Being that this is the first game that had them, the copy abilities are very simplistic. Usually only having 1, maybe 2 moves if you're lucky. But yeah. So nothing unlocks after 1-2. So we can just head straight into stage 3 here. Get you out of the picture. Goodbye. So long. Okay. Listen here. Oh my. That's mildly upsetting. Alright, you're gonna be our replacement. So long. Ooh, actually, fireball. I love the little like portraits at the in the HUD at the bottom of the screen for each different like copy ability. They're very cute. I love them. Yeah, what's kind of interesting is that you have Fireball and Fire, which will then get combined later on into just, well, just Fire. Which, I don't know, because, you know, you'd have, speaking of Fire, it's just the Fire Breath attack in this game. I am doing a great job right now. There we go. Alright, don't get hit by the Poppy Rose Jr. We're gonna sneak around here. Come on, goal game. Number one. And we get the full Kirby dance and a 1-up in for our prize. So next up, we've got a special little room here. The museum. Here's a colorful display of enemies with special abilities. Eat the one you want. And we just, so yeah, there's a bunch of different museums throughout the game that you'd have one or two just for, they can't actually hurt you. You literally just destroy them on contact. Alright, so let's actually just grab the sword, so, cause, you know, it's nice to have a blade. Nah, I'll keep sword, because we got a mini-boss. Mr. Frosty is here. And he goes down, no problem. And we get Freeze, which is different from Ice, because Ice is attack that we get in later game, where it just forms a little, like, shield around you. But yeah, you freeze enemies, and then you use the frozen ice blocks to like, kick around as projectiles, which is pretty cool. I guess we're getting Beam back because Kirby doesn't seem to want to run after the copy ability. We have a kind of we got Needle, which you can only really it completely stops you. It's not a very good ability, sadly, because it's a cool concept, just like porcupine, like a little like porcupine kind of deal. Yeah, we can use that to climb the room, head through the door, and we get a very familiar knight handing us a very familiar and mysterious character handing us an invincibility candy, which we are hyper now. Yeah, I'm decent at this gold game. I may have failed the Dreamland 2 one over and over again, but you can rest assured I will at least be getting a couple extra lives out of the adventure gold game. And that opens the way to the boss, which I am absolutely not taking Needle for. We're just gonna grab sword. Good old reliable. And who is our first boss other than Wispy Woods? This time we don't need to spit apples back in, but then we can just whack him with the sword a bunch. And there we go. Problem solved. And we get our first piece of the Star Rod. So yeah, that's level 1. Now on to level 2. Ice Cream Island. Kirby's having a nice dream, and then a Waddle-Doo whacks him with a hammer and wakes him up. Poor guy. But before that, there is one last little secret back in World 1. And that's in level 1-2. Now, this will become a secret we're going to get very acquainted with throughout this project, because if we go to the Warp Star, which is just going to be a little jaunt, So we're gonna want to head to the warp stars to make sure we scroll all the way to the edge of the screen. Alright, so this is definitely my first attempt at showing the secret, and I definitely didn't make a stupid mistake reminding myself on how to get to the secret at all. I definitely, no little oopsies here. No problem here, no problem at all. So we're just gonna wanna give the right edge of the screen a nice hug. I'm gonna fly over the warp star here till it goes barely off screen, and I said we're gonna fly over it till it goes barely off screen. And whoa, it's gone. It's gone. Oh well, I guess we just gotta. Oh, there's more level over here. Let's see what the invisible wall reveals to us. And welcome to the first ever Howl Room. So these are gonna be secret rooms that appear in a lot of Kirby games, and this is the first ever Howl Room. So we got the blocks that spell out Howl, we got the Broom Hatter. We can destroy the blocks. There's not a lot of like rewards in this one. You know, like crazy extra lives or anything. It's just a fun little Easter egg. So we can just go ahead and exit the stage afterwards. And now let's move on to level 2 proper. Ice Cream Island. So we're at a tropical destination. We're gonna go ahead and take out. I said we're gonna take out these coconuts, or I guess we could probably just run it. Yeah, we can run under a lot of them. Say it isn't one of. Oh, okay. There we go, parasol. So yeah, if a Waddle Doo is holding a parasol and you inhale both of them at once, the parasol takes priority over Beam. If the parasol gets destroyed or the Waddle Doo drops it, then we'll get Beam instead, guaranteed. But yeah, the nice thing about parasol is that it gives us a little shield above us, so we don't care about explosive fruits on trees, because we can just have our little umbrella and go floating on without a care in the world. Here we got a bomber. That guy gives crash. But what do we have here but tornado? This one's just fun. You just turn into an unstoppable tornado of death, but be careful on the part where you unbecome the tornado, because Kirby's very vulnerable in that state. Again, I am too good at this. I am too good at this school game. So one more Easter egg that I'm probably not going to be able to show, or if I am going to show, it's going to be through numerous restore point abuse on this NES classic of mine. If you play 7 levels and in a row, your results for the gold game are 7 on the first level, then 6, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. Instead of getting 1 extra life, you get a whopping 30. Yeah. Anyway, here we go with Egg. Egg catcher. Press the buttons to make Kirby's mouth open. Try to eat eggs, but not bombs. Hello, King DDD. So we hold the A to open our mouth, release it to close. We want to eat as many eggs as we can without if we eat a bomb, that's we instantly lose. All right, we got I think there's 30 in I think each column is 10. We got 26 out of 30. So you get, by reaching certain thresholds, you get either score, which is not at all important. I mean, they did add a high score table in the 3D Classics version, so if you're into that, I guess. But other than that, it's just, if you get enough, you get some 1-ups. Which, granted, you know, it's not an overly difficult game, but yeah, here we can use the slide to, if you don't have a copy that can destroy the bomb block, you can just use the slide instead. And off we go into the desert, from the tropics to the desert. Spark, fire. I know what's coming up, so I think, let's grab fire. So meet Grand Wheelie, our next little mini boss here. just breathe on him. And we can get Wheel. Wheel's always been a fun copy ability. You just turn into a wheel and go max speed. You can turn in this game, but you can't jump while in wheel mode. So do be cognizant of that, and don't drive directly off a cliff, because generally that is ill-advised. We get another claw. We get another chance at the claw game. Claw crane fever. All right, we have to become the crane. For some reason, anytime I see a claw machine, whether it's in real life or in a video game, that SpongeBob episode is just like seared into my memory. Okay, that one was a little dicey, but we still got it. Oh. Yeah! Alright, we get the maximum of 4 extra lives. Heck yeah. You always get 2 credits for the claw machine, so the max you can get is 4. Alright, level 3. I mean, level 2, stage 3. Kirby worlds and Kirby games being named levels has always been a weird thing when trying to talk about which stage you're playing, and I'm in level 2. Oh, so you mean, so you're not that far in the game. No, like, halfway through. God, it's weird. It's weird. That's the point I'm trying to make. We can use an ability to destroy that block, and we get a chance at a UFO that I missed and a Maxim tomato. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Okay, yeah, UFO. Another thing about UFO is that the enemy that gives it can be very, let's say, excitable. And another thing is, since sword is a handheld weapon, you can use it underwater. So I think this is also true with Parasol and one other ability. Other than that, Kirby will instead use his water gun attack if you're underwater. So, yeah. Yeah, I think UFO can... Alright, okay, no, give me my sword back. There we go. Yeah, for some reason in this game, getting copy abilities back after getting hit is kind of a pain for some reason. I don't know if it's just how the hitboxes work out. Sometimes I feel like controller input recognition in this game is a little dicey. Like, sometimes I will very clearly hit the B button, specifically when it's in the air. I think there's a couple, like, frames where Kirby can't, like, use his copy ability in the air. It's like right at, I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes, I guess just, what I'm saying is, sometimes I feel like the game isn't the best at registering inputs, but here's our first encounter with Meta Knight, and he jumps away and just summons his minions, the Meta Knights. Honestly, I find that the best way of taking care of these is without a copy ability. So, I mean, I didn't mean to get hit there, but it works out because you can just simply inhale and spit these guys out at each other, and it works, honestly, a little better than a lot of copy abilities do, because a lot of the copy abilities in this game are kind of underpowered. Oh my god. I'm having a moment right now. Let's get rid of you. And goodbye. I said goodbye. Yeah, none of them give copy abilities, so don't worry about that. Okay, now we are. Okay, you know what? I got hit, but I immediately got healed. So I'm still at less health than if I hadn't gotten hit. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, we get the museum for level 2, so we can go check that out. And we get a choice of laser or fire. Laser's pretty rad. Basically, Kirby gets his own arm cannon in the vein of Samus and Mega Man. And what's cool about lasers is that it hits if like a slope, it'll like reflect off as you would expect. So if we do, we're not gonna. I doubt we're gonna see any like sloped ground because you don't really see a lot of those in these cloud levels. But if we do, I will definitely. It's definitely one of the neat aspects. So there's just a free one up in this room. You got a couple, like, not too difficult enemies to dodge, but other than that, pretty free extra life. And speaking of free useful items, Maxim Tomato. Stone. Let's go stone. Oh my god, yeah, this game has slowdown issues. Lots of sprites on screen, the NES. I would definitely recommend the 3DS. The 3D Classics version basically eliminates all slowdown because it's very much not like an emulated. It's very much like a from the ground up type deal, which is very nice. Oh my god, I'm having a moment right now. I am having a, oh my god, okay, you know what? We're gonna go up. I swear to god, I hit B at least twice there, and neither of them seem to register. Alright, we're gonna try that again. We're gonna grab stone. There we go. Yeah, if you can't, you're invincible while you're stone, and you tend to do a lot of damage. And we can grab Mike. So we get 3 uses of Mike as opposed to just 1. And Kirby just kind of screams and it destroys people. It's great. As much as Mike's gonna be a bit short-lived, because then we actually show that feature of lasers. So as you can see, it reflects off the sloped surfaces, which is pretty rad. Good lord, we have 17 lives right now. We are cruising. Past me and Dreamland Extra Game only wishes they could have this many lives. Good lord. Alright. Oh. So yeah, the stages in this game are pretty short. As you can probably see, individual stages are pretty short, so we're gonna get a few levels done today, and with that, we're at stage 5, and a new little facility has opened up on the world map. An arena. Not the kind of arena we'd see later on, but instead, in these you fight you fight a mini boss, and if you win, you can get the mini boss's copy ability, which most of them aren't available. I don't think any of them are actually available in a museum. So here we can get freeze from Mr. Frosty, and every time you win, you get a Maxim Tomato. So you do get fully healed afterwards, which that alone can be useful. And you can do it you can repeat the arenas as many times as you'd like, which is very, very helpful for just grabbing abilities, especially some of the rare ones that mid-bosses tend to have. We get wheel. I would like... Okay, no wheel for me, I guess. You know what? I want wheel. Oh my god, literally, I'm getting hit during the... You know what? Okay, we finally, after numerous trials, we have finally obtained wheel. Now the main thing with wheel is, we can get hit, but we can also show this off. Time for the best copy ability, sleep. Kirby just takes a little nap. Please, let me sleep a little more, please. So yeah, Kirby's left a sitting duck for a little bit. And you're intended to use wheel to get around the Scordo, but you don't really need it if you're just careful with flying. And it takes you to this lower door, which is a secret door that gets you a bonus little health refill. And then you're immediately taken out to the next to the door you need to go to progress. It's very convenient, and okay. Kabu, let's not... Oh, another new copy ability, high jump. In which Kirby just does rockets up for a very high jump, as the name would suggest. And yeah, it's just that simple. You just hit B and you get a high. It's a little bit awkward on a lot of enemies, unfortunately, which makes me not really enjoy using it all that much. But I guess we'll take, yeah, so because one hit gets rid of your ability, you'll see me swapping around a lot. But yeah, this room is based, there's some rooms that are tailor-made for high jump, which are always pretty fun. Yeah, as you can see, crash dudes. We got a crescent moon here, which, sadly, that crescent moon is not the crescent moon that holds the secret. Yeah. You can destroy, if you hit the Maxim tomatoes those Poppy Bros Jr. are riding on, it gets destroyed, so be careful if you want to grab those. Your best bet is honestly just to use an inhale, but whatever. With that, we're at the end of level 2, so let's go fight a boss. King DDD awaits. Well, King DDD is just a door icon, but now that we have 2 levels open, we can go into the Warp Star Station, which is just an easy way to backtrack to previous levels if you want to go back for a certain ability from a museum or arena or something, or if there's something you missed, you can go back and grab it, and yada yada and so forth. So this is a boss I'm actually going to go with no copy. This is Paint Roller. As you can imagine, his thing is art. And you can actually get copy abilities out of the paintings. So there's Wheel, which maybe isn't the greatest for bosses, so we're just going to spit it out at him. That one's just a Waddle Dee. There's some interesting ones you can get if you paint certain things. There's Parasol. Come on, there's one I really want to show off. Yeah, you can get Mike out of the sky, which makes defeating him a breeze if he just hands you the he hands you the ability that does massive damage. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Yeah, this is just kind of an example of how there will always be ways to fight bosses without if you don't have a copy ability. And Star Rod piece number 2, get. There we go. Cute little dance, and butter building. Which this rude old Poppy Rose Sr. decides to, blow the poor boy up, and here we are. So, this level introduces a big mechanic that we haven't actually seen thus far, so, but we will get to that when we get to that. For now, we just got butter building stage 1 here. We get some Rockies, so we can get stone if we want. I'll keep my sword because we gotta. I believe his name is Mr. TikTok. If at least that's his name in Superstar Ultra when he appears in that game. I don't know if that was a change, but yeah, his projectiles are those little music notes he fires out. So I'll take Mike because it's useful for this next room, which has a lot of enemies, and Mike is just useful at clearing out large groups like that because it can be used 3 times. So yeah, and if you lose the ability or get rid of it and get back, your remaining uses are saved. I believe there is a glitch to get infinite uses. But yeah, there's a bomb block inside that star block, which is why it got destroyed, which is weird. And this is our first big switch. These are optional and open up new places on the world map, or in the overworld, I guess. But yeah, so those are the collectible, that's the extra collectible that's required for 100%. So 100% is just beat all the levels and press all the big switches. So we're going to take Mike into the mini-boss fight to see what we can get out of that arena. If it's a Mr. I don't remember what all is in every single arena, but if it's a Mr. TikTok, I'm going to have a... Okay, it's a Grand Wheelie. But yeah, each subsequent Mike is stronger than the last. But yeah, we can get Wheel whenever we want now. So if you are a Wheel fan, butter building's the place to be. We can just kind of... Yeah, as you can see, the Maxim Tomato took the hit before the Poppy Bros Jr., which is why I suggested Yeah, this is kind of a cool effect that I'm just gonna wheel across, but yeah. That's kind of a cool effect, especially for an NES game. Then again, I think this was one of, if not the last, like, first-party NES titles released, so... yeah, so they had the NES pretty figured out by this point. At least I hope they did, because, it was 93, and I'm pretty sure the Super Nintendo was already released. Okay, we're actually gonna grab Sword. We were going to grab Sword, and then the dude decided that he did not want life anymore. Because, yeah, Kirby's body is the most dangerous thing. You touch it, and you just kind of instantly explode. So here we can get Wheel. There's just a grand wheelie in this room for some unknown reason. This room's shape can make it a little awkward to fight sometimes, but we grab Wheel. And we head on out. So yeah, Wheel kind of just makes this room a bit of a breeze. You just fly through everything. It's pretty fun. Alright, so this room, we want to be careful, I say, as I immediately take damage. Anyway. So the thing with this room is that destroying those blocks opens the way up to the 1-up and the maximum tomato, but there's no floor, so you have to be very quick about grabbing them and getting out. Here we have Bugsy. Oh god, Bugsy without a copy ability is a little awkward because he's often not very cooperative about giving you the projectiles you need to fight him, so yeah. His strategy is to grab you and just throw you around, so don't let him do that. And out of that, we get Backdrop, as we saw in the little opening movie. So next stage we're in, we're gonna be tossing some dudes around. So yeah, the little intro, the demo said there's 6 different moves. Basically, for every button on the controller that's not start or select, you get a different throw. So yeah, there's essentially the neutral throw. That's if you just have an enemy held for a while and don't do anything. That's so B button doesn't actually have one. There's A, which is a big like that one gives you a lot of height. Up. Right. We're gonna do another up throw, because yeah, you can throw the enemies into each other. There's a down throw, and finally, back throw. So yeah, this room is a bit weird, because essentially these are 2 rooms that are like mirrored versions of each other. The only difference is being like some walls are placed differently. So, for example, I think we can only get so yeah, if we go through this, and we get to an area with the maximum tomato that we couldn't access normally. So there's a bit of puzzle solving going on here. So yeah, as you can see for the exit, we're just gonna go ahead and clear out the blocks in the way. That gives us the door. So yeah, we're very quickly climbing up the butter building. The building, as it were. I don't know why I decided that stutter was necessary, but it's fine. It's fine. Alright, so we get a museum and access to 3-4. Museum gives high jump. As I've said, I'm not the biggest high jump fan. And we immediately start with a warp star, so off we go. And we get another fight against the Meta Knights. So yeah, we're just gonna give them a good ol' What's nice is since the way you grab things is with an inhale, it's actually pretty easy to take out, and it's actually pretty safe ability, all things considered. Alright, you're gonna give me backdrop, back. So yeah, this would later become, yeah, as you can see, throw enemies into other enemies. It's a good time. It's a good time. There's a 1-up if you brave the cannon. The shotzo. Does it work? Okay, you know what? I got it immediately fully healed afterwards, so I don't know what I was so worried about. And we're up to 20 lives, good lord. And too bad, when I turn off the game, those are all gonna be gone. Yahoo. And we get our final of the 3 little sub-game, mini-games here. Quick Draw. It's pretty simple. You're gonna wait for the signal and then press A as fast as you can. Basic reaction test. There's a bunch of rounds in a row. The more rounds you complete, the better the reward. Ah, damn it. I've never been good at quick draw. I have never been good at it. So yeah, depending on how many hats you can get, there's 5 rounds in total, and I believe the final reward is either a 2-up or a 3-up. I don't remember. Because as you can guess by me saying I'm not very good at quick draw, I've never gotten it before, so yeah. Yeah, for some. Okay, we got Chili here, who gives us the other ice-based copy ability. Ice, not freeze, ice, but, you know, very important distinction. If I can actually grab it here. Oh no, Chili gives freeze, okay. It's just, I think, okay, yeah. Again, you'll have to forgive me for getting them confused. They're so distinct from one another. And, okay, Bonkers. Yeah, we got Bonkers. More mini-bosses all the time. And we get the very powerful Hammer. It's a bit slower than Sword, but hoo boy, it does damage. As you can see, every block I destroy is causing the screen to shake a little. That just shows you just the impact and power we hold. And if we can get this to the level, the boss of Butter Building, which I think there's only 1 stage left, so here's open. Then we will get to show off how much damage, how much of a just destruction this thing can cause. I didn't need that energy drink, and I went for it anyway, which, you know what, probably was not the greatest decision. Personally, I think Kirby should climb the ladders instead of just awkwardly flying in front of them, but what do I know? I'm not a ladder expert, so... Yeah. Yeah, we can find a secret door behind these blocks. So we just gotta make sure you go through the top half of the room after destroying the block, and you get taken to this level's big switch. So if you want to know how to tell if a level has a big switch or not, if you'll be able to tell what level you've missed big switches in by the fact that the door is still that flashing color you have when the level's before the level's beaten. Ah, damn it. I didn't mean to get rid of that. Oh well, you know what? It's fine, because we need to show something off, because here we have a dark room. As you can imagine, it's dark, but if we grab this little ghost stew, we get the very remote copy ability, Light. You use it, and it lights up the dark room, and that's all it does, and it's one-time use, and it's like, there's a reason this never returns again in the entire Kirby series. So yeah, alas, we'll have to wait to see Hammer wreak devastation on bosses. For now, egg. Ah, 28. Oh, so close to perfect. Alright, so all that's left is the level boss, and I don't want to take this on with high jump, so I think I'll go back and grab Hammer, actually. Because, you know, I don't... This next boss is something that I don't want to do with high jump. That's just it. I don't want to do doing bosses with high jump makes me upset, because high jump is not good for bosses, because generally speaking, ramming your face directly into the boss is not advised, and that's literally the entire like thing with high jump, is that you just ram your face in and hope you don't get, oh my god, damaged because of it. Thankfully, what we can do here is we can just go into the level, get a few good hits to take out old bonkers here. Come on. And gimme. And we can just, because we've already beaten the level, we can exit the stage from the pause menu. We get another Warp Star Station, and it's time for Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. So, yeah, they both have their own health bars. They're shorter than a regular boss bar. But as you can see, if I can actually not constantly lose my ability, once we start hitting them, they go down very quickly to Hammer in like 3 swings of the thing. Yeah, Hammer is insane. It's not just new games where Hammer's like the boss killer, it's been like that since the very beginning. But yeah, and there's our 3rd Star Rod piece. Already going at a decent clip through the game. And next up we have Grape Garden. And poor Kirby loses all his balloons. Tragedy. But yeah, so that's gonna be all for now. Next time on All the Kirby, we'll be going back to Dreamland 2 for a little more Rainbow Islands hunting. But then next time on Kirby's Adventure, we will be taking on Grape Garden and beyond. So yeah, see you all the Kirby. Woo, and I don't want to turn off the game because I'll lose my hammer and 22 lives, but alas, I have real life things to go do. More is that a greater or a lesser tragedy than Kirby losing his balloons? I'll leave that to you for you to decide.